All right, what is going on, everybody? I just want to do a quick video on Naraka Bladepoint. So, if you guys don't know what this game is, this is a new battle royale coming out August 12th. Right now, what you're seeing is the beta, the second beta, that was released in this month in June, and we only had it for the week to play and like level up and everything's gonna get erased. But I wanted to give new players or newer players such as myself, some tips and tricks and like a little mini beginner's guide coming from a complete beginner themselves. Usually a lot of these guides come from people who are already well known in the game and who have played probably since the alpha and have made their own, I guess, established connection with the game, and they know the ins and outs of the game and everything. And it took me a minute to get up to speed with everything. I had to do my own research and everything. But with this game, what I have noticed is, a lot of players struggle with winning fights, right? And I have won a good amount of fights. I'm still trying to grind and win, a solo. I've won a few trios with a few friends, but I'm trying my best to, get up there and be able to actually like be a better player in all. And one thing I can say is that from what I've seen, there's a lot of things that you can do to help you win fights easily, and coming from my perspective, I used to do the same thing that a lot of people still do and that I still see from time to time. So let's get right into it. Okay, so first things first, one thing that it took me forever to learn how to do was stop mashing my left click. So, the first thing you learn if you complete the tutorial is, your basic attack, your counter, and your focus attack. So you have your basic, which is you're pretty much your three strikes, and your focus attack is whenever you do a shining blue attack, So 1, 2, 3 is your focus. So your third attack is always a focus. So I'm gonna give you this perspective coming from a person who only pretty much plays melee weapons. I don't really play ranged weapons. I'll get into that later. So this is the longsword. The longsword is pretty much one of the best weapons in the game, just because its focus has that flying out slash move, which can knock people down, as you guys can see. And you have your katanas, which is also a 3-hit move, and the last one is a focus attack. But with the katana, I don't like it as much because it doesn't have the the energy focus that shoots out an energy blast like that. With the katana, it's still the same. It's timeable. It's just a regular slash at the end. So, and if you always hold it, you don't have to hold it, but if you want to not get countered, I wish there was a way for me to show you, but you'll see in a few of the clips when I counter someone. So if you're playing mouse and keyboard, I only know for mouse and keyboard because I don't play controller. Both your left and right click, press them at the same time you do a counter. So my thing is, what I had the way I learned was I watched a lot of videos pretty much and a lot of streamers who were playing this game, and I pretty much mimicked them. So one thing I can tell you guys, best thing to do when you're in a fight, take it slow. Don't just get to mashing the buttons, so super quickly, because it's just predictable. Come on, get back up. Sir. Anyway, so take your time, take your attacks slow, and then like start chaining in combos with them, So you have your 3 strikes, like I said, and the best way from what I learned, if I can remember his name, I learned this move from I don't know if he's like a well-known player in the game, but from HK Boba. His link would be in the description. So I learned this from him. Apparently, you can cancel out this third focus attack. So right before you hit your third attack, 1, 2, you can crouch, and then it cancels out, and you can go back into, your first attack. So, and I still struggle with also what you can do is dash. So instead of doing all three, you can just dash. And I still struggle with that as well. But that's pretty much how you do it. You can either crouch cancel and then go back into your threes, you know, and then like I would say, because usually what I do is I try to do this twice. Crouch cancel, and then the third one I'll do my focus, because you know after that it's not, you know, they're not timing it, you know, they're like, oh, when is he gonna do it, when is he gonna do it, is he gonna do it on the second one, is he gonna do it on the third one? So that's my perspective on that, and that's how I learned how to get better and practice going in solos. Going in solos is a lot better than trios. I know you guys want to play with your friends, but sometimes if you want to get better, you know, and you guys can see what I'm doing now. What I'm doing now is slide jumping. So it's pretty much, I'm not sure if it's easy on controller, but on mouse and keyboard, it's pretty much you run forward, slide, jump. That's all it is. That's all it is. You know, this helps you get around faster. And if I can find one, let's see. Are these all weapons? These are all weapons. Okay, items. There we go. With grappling hooks, a lot of people ask me about grappling hooks. So you can chain grapples. So the best way I would say to chain grapples, before you land at wherever you're grappling, just jump off and then aim at a different area. You know, so can I not connect to this tree? I can. Okay, I can't connect to the branch. All right, so let me grapple here, and then jump off, and then grapple somewhere else before you hit the ground. You know, and it's that simple. You know, it's not hard. There's nothing to grapple on here, so that's why I'm like fucking up right now. But yeah, so grappling is not hard at all. You know, automatically your settings will be on automatic grapple. Like it'll just grapple, or like it'll like automatic do it for you to wherever the like best location. I have mine on manual, like, and I'll have it on hold instead of like toggle, because if you just press your grapple button, it'll stay on. But that'll kind of make you lose some fights, because like it might toggle on, and then you might have to, you know, press the button again to toggle out of it, but you might be in the mid fight. So I have mine on hold instead of toggle. But those are combat, I guess, with the swords. At least these are the two best swords I use in fights. I'll always, if I find gold or purple ones or even blue ones, I always run two melee weapons. I never really run a ranged weapon unless it's inevitable and I have to run a ranged weapon. But the next weapon is the great sword. That is, it's a strong sword. It's not usable. I just don't like to use it as much because its timing is really bad for me in general. You might be better with it, but with your great sword, the focus attack always comes out in the second hit. So you got one and then focus attack, but then it goes back to like a basic attack. So it's kind of quick. So if they miss, so someone might try to counter you when you can do your second, you know, and then they might miss and you might go into, and then you go into your third strike, you know. And this isn't even considering like what other things you can do with some of these weapons. Like, you know, you can crouch and then do a horizontal slash, because you can duck under enemies attacks, their horizontal attacks, which is their right clicks. But, you know, with the katana, as you can see, you do a vertical slice after that. So, you know, if you continue to hit your C button, I do this a lot, you know, and that works a lot in fights. And one thing a lot of people don't do either is downward attacks. So I usually jump and I'm always hitting my right click to do a downward attack. You guys will see that a lot in my gameplay footage. I do a lot of downward attacks. And another thing a lot of people don't do, which I know a lot of pros don't do, is lock onto people. I have my lock button set on my X key on my keyboard, and it's just an easy key for me to press to lock on to somebody, and it keeps you on target. You know, it keeps you on target, and then you can just press to cancel it away if you wanna get away. You know, so that's. I hope I'm explaining this well. I know I'm not the best explainer of things, but if you guys are confused about anything, I will answer all comments in the comment section. So Next thing I want to get into is movement. So as you guys, I said, the first thing was slide jumping. So that's what I was doing before, was slide jumping. You know, that's slide jumping. It helps you get around a lot faster. And then, you know, of course, you got your grapple cancel. You know, you can cancel it as well if you're in a fight, and then especially if, you know, you're getting attacked and you try to grapple away. You know, well, before you hit your target, I'll cancel out. You know, I'll jump off and then like try to get behind them and attack them. You know, and it's pretty much just grappling to an area and then just jumping off, you know, canceling pretty much. Now I'm not sure if you can, I don't have any more spools. I'm not sure if you can just like hit your C and just jump down. Cause like when you're in the air, I'll show you guys, when you're in the air and you jump from a high location, if you hit C, you land faster. And that's something they teach you in the tutorial, I believe. But yeah, and that's pretty much good for movement. Other than that, you know, try to throw in some dashes if you have the stamina. But I like to, if I can, you know, crouch cancel anything, it doesn't use stamina up like rolling or dashing will, you know. And I still struggle with like fighting and trying to dash because you have to stand still. Like if you're already running and I hit my shift key, you just roll. You have to stand still and then you can do a dash. You know, if I can build up stamina. Yeah, like, so, you know, you only dash when like you're really standing still and not like in a full sprint. So yeah, that's all movement. That's all movement based. There's a lot more you can do with movement, but you know, those are some of the basics that'll just help you out in 1v1s. And if you practice all of this stuff enough, like I had a week worth of time, like day one after I played, and I just saw I was losing so many fights, whether it was on trios or solos, and I just wanted to get better. So I was looking at a lot of guides. Pretty much, I watched all of HK Boba's video and a few other, you know, YouTube videos. And all the videos that I watched, I'll have them linked in the description, so that way you guys have an easy click to some of the best tutorials out there to save you some time to looking, because you guys have the best ones at your right there in the description for you guys. But so it doesn't get any harder than that. I mean, Soul Jades, I don't have to really explain that because Soul Jades kind of explain themselves. All you gotta do is really read them. That's a whole nother video in itself. But just for in like fights in themselves, depending on your character, you might have to learn your character as well. In my opinion, I say, you know, try to learn all the characters at least. Obviously, like right now, I'm maining Matari. You know, yeah, I know she's meta. You know, not as meta as Kurumi, but you know, she's kind of strong. You know, in her you know, I guess ability to get away. It's always best to, you know, take your time when you're doing your attacks. You know, don't just be spamming them. You know, as quickly as possible. I'll pause. You know, I'll reset. I'll do 1, 2. You know, reset, come back, 1, 2, reset, come back to you, you know, and that's where the lock on feature comes in handy. So if I'm locked on to you, you know, I'm gonna 1, 2, move around, you know, come back, jump around a little bit, you know, and then reset. You know, it's so simple because there's only like 3 combos in the game, other than like, you know, crouch upward strikes, and then down and then downward strikes, you know. And then the downward strike for the great sword is pretty awesome, but that's all other stuff in its own. You know, moving into like more advanced stuff, it's not super advanced, anybody can learn it, you know. But if you're a true beginner, you know, like I am, pretty much, I'm not gonna say I'm not a beginner. All this stuff only took me maybe 2 or 3 days to learn and just practice. I don't know how many hours I have into this game. That's pretty much it for this tutorial video or tips and tricks or whatever you want to call this. You know, this beginner based video coming from a noob, a beginner, someone who isn't even in the ranks, you know, just a player who's spent a decent amount of hours doing his own research and trying to get better. If I could do it, you can too, because I am not the greatest at video games, especially fighting games like this. Even though it is a battle royale, I'm mainly an FPS player, as you guys know. and this game is probably going to be like one of my main games when it comes out, you know. So yeah, guys, any questions, leave them down in the comments below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you guys want. Turn the notification bell on if you guys want to see when I upload. I'll be doing a lot of Naraka Bladepoint content coming in the future when the game does drop, and I might post my beta highlights if I really have any, because I fucking suck at the game, you know. But yeah, all in all, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, like I said, you know, show some support, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.